Hello there, RedemptionGabe here, and in tonight's video, I'm going to talk about what's going on in the news lately when it comes to physical media or anything what's going on in the stores lately, in the news, or besides politics, because that's going to be a controversial subject for this video. Best Buy is going to stop selling Blu-rays and DVDs altogether. Without further ado, let's get started. So if I was following last year in 2023, I have not made this video in 2023 before. I mean, Best Buy is not gonna meaning they're not gonna sell or carry any more Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm not sure about Blu-ray players, so let me check if it applies for players. Now, I can tell you right now, they are not going to sell Blu-ray players or DVD players, as a matter of fact. Now, what does that mean to you and what it actually means? Well, that means that any movies that Best Buy is going to sell in the foreseeable future, they're not going to sell them anymore. And games will be safer now on any Nintendo Switch games, or on physical cartridges, or Xbox 360 game. Well, not only Xbox 360 games, I got this wrong. Any Xbox Series X games, or even the PlayStation 5 games or PlayStation 4 games. Pretty much any physical video games that are on optical disc, or in that case for Nintendo, for cartridges, will still be in stock in Best Buy. It's only going to affect movies that are on DVD and Blu-ray. So what is going on in the world? What the tech is going on in the world? So let's see what's going on. So basically, Alan Wake 2 is another game that everybody is enjoying, but the problem is, if you look over here, Alan Wake will be releasing on a disc. Alan Wake 2 will be releasing on a disc. So what is going on here? They're not going to release Alan Wake 2 on a disc. So another AAA game that it's what Best Buy is doing right now is this thing is nothing new. So ever since the rise of streaming services, Best Buy is doing the same thing. They're not going to sell any more DVDs and Blu-rays. And soon, if you go to any Best Buy store that still has DVDs and Blu-rays in stock, well, guess what? I have really bad news for you. Because soon they're going to be winding this down, where you will no longer see them in stock anymore. And they're going to be replaced with wherever they're going to replace it with. So I am not sure. Maybe a new section or whatever that's going to be. Now, some movies don't even get physical releases. If you ever take a look at the movie Extraction, that's a Netflix film. So the only way you can legally watch it is to signing up to Netflix. And let me explain to you. Extraction is not on Blu-ray. It was never on DVD. So if you're going to watch the movie Extraction on DVD or on Blu-ray, you probably bought a bootlegged version of that movie, because apparently it's a movie that's only exclusive of Netflix. Their studio or the creators of the movie did not release it on any other streaming medium, which includes Blu-ray and DVD, which is the most common ones that people use in their house to watch movies. Now, if you do not know how Netflix first started as this. I'm going to Google it for you. Try to search for Netflix. They started as a DVD rental service. DVD rental service. This is how these people first started. They started as a DVD service, which means it started in the late 90s. That Netflix started as a DVD rental service, which is basically you signed up, you rent as long as you want, if you like, you can rent 1,000 movies. There will be no late fees. And you also remember Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster is basically the same thing what Netflix does, except you have stores across the world, across the country, until they close 1,000 of stores. And the only Blockbuster that is left is the one in Bend, Oregon. Remember those good old days when you have video store, when video stores used to be relevant, and not many people go to a video store to get movies. And not only that, if you remember with the days of Blockbuster, that if you don't return a movie, or you return the movie that's on VHS, and you didn't rewind it, because remember, all VHS movies, they have to be rewind before you return it, otherwise they charge you a small fee for it to be rewind. That's the biggest problem. This is a very good old be kind, rewind. And now DVD movies, starting with DVD or digital versatile disc, that concept has changed. You do not have to rewind every single movie that comes on DVD because it's different. I mean, you don't. It's a cool concept. Because with DVD, you can watch, and at least with DVD movies, you can pop your movie in the computer and watch it from there. There's no need to have a specific device. Because remember, with VHS, movies would have to be basically movies like the Titanic, which is a little bit off topic to this, if you do not know. Movies like the Titanic, basically, it's like that. It's 3 hours long, because it's a 3 hour long film. Getting it to release on DVD, for example, will have to be in a dual layer disc because how horrendously long that film is, and it puts so many previews, and the DVD will have to be increased to 8.7 gigabytes, and that's why Titanic can't fit on a single layer disc, because it's so freaking long. The VHS, it came in several cassettes. And that's why Titanic had to be like that. It's a very historic film, and that's the reason why people rented that movie in the video store. And if you're wondering about the movie, I mean, I'm not sure. Just to give you an example, the movie Titanic, it came in multiple cassettes. If you're talking about the VHS version, not only that, the VHS version, for example, had, I don't know if it's 1 or 2. I think it came in 2 cassettes because they put previews, and that's why the movie is so didn't fit on a single cassette, and that's the reason. And that single for Apollo 13, which is the movie came out in 1995, and that it's what history of movies get. Now Netflix came up with this one. That you choose a couple of movies, they mail it to you, and then when you're done, you can just mail it back, and you get more movies coming to the mail. And this is how this concept works. So and now Blockbuster came out, they start competing with Netflix, and this is where things going downhill. So Blockbuster comes along, then later, slowly but surely, they started closing a lot of Blockbuster stores because they weren't doing so good in revenue because of the DVD service that Netflix was very successful. And if you can never notice what's going on, so later, soon but surely, Netflix starts winding the DVD service. I mean, people still watch DVDs. And let's read this incredibly how I read this. After an incredible 25-year run, we have decided to wind down DVD.com, which is what Netflix used, which was how Netflix started. So that's how it is. So Netflix starts as a DVD rental, and then later it opens their streaming platform when everybody else has broadband internet. Because you know, back then, internet was not very easy to get. It was a royal pain in the butt. You have to dial in a phone line, and it will make a whirring sound. And if nothing comes in, you have no internet. And so there's activity coming from the dial-up modem. Then there will be internet coming in. Now DSL is the first type of broadband technology. It's internet, but it comes from your DSL modem. And the only difference between that and the other one, that DSL internet does not have to depend on a phone line. Well, it depends on a phone line, but the good part about it is that you don't have to dial in every time you want to connect to when you want to surf the web, and you can also use the telephone when you want to while using the internet. It's a good thing that the DSL has an advantage. The downside is the fast speeds of DSL vary where you live. So if you live in a very further place, further part of the city, you're not going to get the best experience with DSL, because DSL depends on for example, and DSL is known as digital subscriber line. This is an internet technology or broadband technology that depends on a copper phone line. And yes, AT&T, I'm talking about you. And now they started coming up with AT&T Fiber, which is a fiber optic internet provider, which started coming out throughout the years of broadband. The problem with AT&T Fiber is a problem that has to be dealt with the association. If you want to get AT&T Fiber in your condo, the condo HOA has to talk to AT&T. They're the ones that decide when they're going to start running fiber optic cables. I live in a freaking townhouse and combo kind of combination, and there's no AT&T fiber. We only have AT&T running on copper lines, which is crappy. And the internet is really crappy. I only have Comcast, which is a lot better. I mean, Comcast is a really good provider. I mean, the only difference between AT&T and Comcast Xfinity that Xfinity uses coaxial to run the internet, and that's why I like it, because there is no problems with the internet when you're trying to stream when you're trying to do a dual live stream, and then you have to expect someone to be knocked offline because there's a problem with their internet, and that's why I don't like AT&T. Until I freaking move out, we can try to get AT&T fiber, and that's what I like about it. That you can seamlessly broadcast to a live stream on a 1 GB speed, and 1,000 megabytes a second seems to be enough for some people. It's way faster, and this is why you really want 1,000 megabytes a second for gaming, doing large files and things like that. And that's the reason why we're tired of AT&T with the slow speeds that they were giving us, and we gave up. And that's why we got Comcast, because it's a better provider, and almost everybody in our complex was using Comcast because that's the provider we got accessible in our area. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. It was just a rant and a nice video, and a heads up video, one like the title. And sorry if and apologize, I haven't been making videos lately, but thanks for if you keep subscribing to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, RedemptionGabe, and peace out.